Hey guys, Still Gaming here with yet another video. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Starfield. Now, Starfield just came out with a huge information dump. There was lots of questions asked by the audience, by the fans, and the devs came out and they answered a bunch of questions. That's what this video is going to go over. But before we get to that, please make sure you share, like, subscribe. I do appreciate. We just passed the 1,400 subscribers mark. I look forward to getting that number way up. I appreciate everyone that's come out for the live streams, the podcast, the Let's Plays, and being a part of a member. Appreciate that with you. 85 members strong. Appreciate that very much. And let's get to it. Can we buy houses and property in the main cities? One of the answers was, yep, there's houses in different cities that players can get. Some you have to purchase, and some are rewards for specific quests. The other developer said, sure can. You can purchase the dwelling in all major cities, and there's also at least one that you can get specifically for completing something. Next up, we have parents' appearances. So the question is, if we get the kids' stuff, traits, will our parents be generated based on the character's look, or are they standard parents but in place? What benefits might there be? So there's two developers. Will came out and said, our programmers are on the new face tech, and we're excited to make functions that could try to make our custom faces create the two parents. So there is a base on what the characters looks like. Although the specific math involved in this bit is beyond me, he says. We had a similar tech in our previous games. Emil says, yes, totally. Just as it did in Fallout 3 with your dad, and in Fallout 4 with your son, in Starfield, if you take the kid's stuff trait, your parents are based off of you. Now, no spoilers, but I think fans will really appreciate the actors we got to play those roles. And they just get so into it, it's awesome. Quote, oh, yeah, you can get stuff. Now, this is pretty cool. If you're going through the game and you get to, so obviously there's going to be, your parents are going to be in the role, right? It says it right there. Appreciate the actors that got into play the role. So your parents will take a part of this game, which is pretty interesting. And I really like the fact that inside this game, you guys know what kind of character I'm going to create, right? We do it on all the RPG type of games. You know. If you don't, wait and come and watch us when we play the game. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to put the traits in and then see what your parents look like and whatnot. Really cool stuff. Next up is what to know first. Now, what to know first is, for those of us who have never played a Bethesda Game Studios game and will be starting with Starfield, what information should we know that will make the experience more impactful right from the start? How deep should we go in creating our character's backstory before we start the game? Let's go to Emil's answer first. We always make our games for fans both old and new. So you can jump right in without ever having to play a Bethesda title before. But we like to look at it less as playing a game and more about living in the universe that we created. So settle in, go at your own pace, and pretty soon you'll be learning the systems and adventuring through settled systems the way you choose. Now, as for going into a character's backstory, that's entirely up to you. I'm all up for about headcanon. For example, my latest character, he says, is working on a schlub named Mitch Dombrowski. He's a husky, good-natured space trucker, and while he'll do whatever it takes and needs to defend himself, he'll never shoot first. He's like Han Solo's sweeter older brother, and yes, there are traits and backgrounds that support that kind of thing. Now, Will says, while we do start you off at the same spot, what happened to you before the game starts is totally up to you and your headcanon. There's a trait in the background system that will let you specifically more about yourself, but you can also select an anonymous background and no traits. And if you want, in terms of you've never played a Bethesda Game Studio game before, try anything. We're a simulation as well as a role-playing game, so we try to support the player doing what they want as much as we can. I think this is great. Again, the characters that you want to create inside the game, if you want to be a smuggler, if you want to be just a go out adventure type of guy, if you want to be more of a, extrovert, you want to try to not really talk to people, maybe you don't want to shoot guns, maybe you just, I love all the different traits that are in this game. I'm very excited to see what each one is, because we saw a little bit during the Bethesda breakdown. In the 45 minutes, they showed a couple of the roles and stuff, but I would really like to get in, see what type of traits there are in this game, and I'm really excited to see not only what I make, but what other people make with their Let's Plays and other streamers, and just you guys in the chat, like what you guys are going to make. Speaking of smuggling, next up we have smuggling, and it says smuggling. How will the smuggler cargo system work? Can we hide it somewhere on the ship and sell it for more currency later? Will comes out and says certain items are considered contraband. You'll need to be a smuggler, and you'll need to smuggle them past the security ships that are in orbit and major settlements. Emil says there are specific items that are considered contraband, meaning that they're pretty much illegal everywhere. And yes, you can hide them using special ship modules. You can also purchase, so you know that you don't get caught with those harvested organs. The economy is fixed, but prices of bought and sold goods can change based on the skills you choose. There are items with backstories, but can be specific. What I love about this is that how many of you, put in the comment section down below, how many of you want to be like a smuggler? How many of you want to be that Han Solo type of character that you're just running ships and you're running across the, the trade routes or whatnot and get into kind of like pirate action? Let me know in the comment section down below, because that's where I'm kind of going for, right? I'm trying to go for this trucker type of, space trucker, try to make a living out in space, okay? And I'm going to be smuggling everything possible. I'm going to do, non-contraband stuff and contraband stuff, but you got to make yourself look like you're good and then sneak it on board type of stuff. I'm excited about this. Let me know in the comment section down below how many of you are going to choose to be a smuggler. All right, well, next up is jail or jail time. So people are asking, if you're a smuggler and you're going to be in trouble, is there going to be jail? The question is, will there be jail system if we're committed crimes? And Will comes out and says, yes, you can elect to go to jail or pay a fine when you're arrested, or even resist arrest and try to escape. That's going to be pretty fun, right? I'm feeling like Grand Theft Auto type of stuff. Emil says, yep, the settled system is more like Skyrim than Fallout 4's Commonwealth in that regard. Betcha criminals and their civilizations, there's also a government and there are laws. And in a couple of cases, we actually explore these themes of crime and punishment in our futuristic universe. So this is really, really cool. Again, I mean, if there's no payoff, why do you want to be a smuggler or why do you want to be a criminal if there's really no jail time? Because you just go around doing whatever you want. Now there's that push and pull type of thing, or take and give type of thing. And I really like that there is a jail system in this game. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to pay the fine, or are you going to try to escape, be a man on the run? Let me know. Next up is passing of time. Now, how's passing of time going to work? Well, will time pass when not in game? For example, will my trade routes, outposts, and mining operations continue to produce, or does that only occur while actively playing? Emil takes this question and says the sim only runs when you're actively playing, no sleeping on the job. And Will says only when actively playing. So obviously, if you're playing a game like Star Citizen or No Man's Sky, if you have like a farm set up, those produce if you're on or not. In this, they only produce, or only things happen when you're actually active in the game. I like this. I think this is a better way of doing it. Let me know what you think. Do you want this to be going while you're not active? I don't know. I think it's cool that it's happening when you're on. So if you log in for the hour, you have some farm going on, or you're doing something, it's actually happening when you're on. So let me know in the comment section down below if this is good or bad for you guys. Next talking point is joining factions. Now, joining multiple factions, the question is, can you be a double agent game? For example, if you join United Colonies, can you also join the Crimson Fleet? And giving the United Colonies information and what factions have the feature if they do. Will comes out and says all the playable factions can be completely independently, and the Crimson Fleet storyline does feature you being an undercover agent inside the fleet on behalf of the USINDF, okay, a specific military branch of the United Colonies. But whether you betray the fleet or not, or UC, is a choice that you'll get to make. And then Emil says, that's exactly what you can do. Infiltrate the Crimson Fleet for the UC. It's specific that the quest line and in the studio we have been half-jokingly accusing and referencing movies that or that some folks have never seen because I'm old. So with the particular plot line, the inspiration has very much of the movie Donnie Brasco, which is the true story of an FBI agent who infiltrates the mafia. How far will you go? This sounds amazing, right? Like, you could just do a whole plot line and get in here with your character and completely screw over one of the other factions. This sounds fantastic. The more and more that I hear these questions and the answers from these devs, I'm getting more excited about what Starfield is. Let's just hope it's just this entire package, and it seems like it's going to be another RPG goldmine here if you're playing a lot of RPG nowadays. Next up, we have Factions in Conflict. Now, Factions in Conflict, the question was, will there be actions that you can take where you lead the inconsiderably ends with a faction? Or will you be able to become the master of all factions like Skyrim? Now, Emil comes out, and I don't really want to spoil anything, he says. So, all I'll say is you have a specific role / job / missions in the faction's quest line. If Freestar Collective and United Collins are giant organizations, and the work you do for them is important. But it's not like you gain complete control of those factions at the end of those quest lines. As for whether or not the UC will be violently angry with you if you ultimately take the Crimson Fleet side, yeah, they ain't going to be happy. So this is just to get another really nice sounding where, again, you can be as shady or as loyal or as flip-floppy as you want with the factions. This sounds fun. All right, next up, we have Pacifist playstyle. Now, the question was asked, depending on the traits selected during the character's creation, will it be able to all be possible to play through the game in a passive mode, i.e. without killing anyone or even potentially anything? And Will says, I can't guarantee every mission can be completed in passive mode, but we do have a couple of systems that will help. One system is our speech challenge game, where you can actually persuade someone to do something like not fight you. The speech challenge game is added in a specific scripted moments. They try to add one into the most quests where important characters confront you. Emil says, so we could talk about this very early on during the pre-production, whether or not it would be fully support a non-lethal playthrough. Now, we realize that for various reasons, that wasn't totally feasible. Now, that being said, there are some good non-lethal options, whether through dialogue or using non-lethal weapons. Those can be used in certain situations. Honestly, a lot of situations, though, I couldn't comfortably say you can't complete the entire game without any ever. So, this is probably a bummer for some of you out there that want to do the pacifist playthrough. It seems like you can't do it completely through, but, you know, it's a good shot. I'm sure someone will go out there and come pretty damn close. Next up is the number of companions. The question was asked, how many companions total will be able to recruit? Now, Will came out and said there are 20 named characters who can join your crew. 4 of them are from the colonization and have the most story and interaction with as the player. But all the named characters have their own backgrounds and can follow you around and carry your stuff. Neil says over 20 total, and we really focus on the members of the constellation. Now, when we first began Starfield pre-production, we locked back in our previous game, and we realized how popular and effective the companions were. So they were a big priority for us, and we really wanted to tie them directly into the main quest. There are some really big moments with them specifically. We should also mention that the companion voice cast is amazing. We haven't released this list yet, but you can be sure that there are talented actors bringing those characters to life. Same for the constellation in general. In addition, the companions, you can also hire generic crew members to work on your outposts or on your ship. This is pretty cool. I like when you can take certain characters or your companions, especially in a single-player game, when you can have a companion and it feels like they're real. You know what I mean? It feels like they're real life or whatnot. It's a really good extra part of the actual game, especially in an RPG game. All right, the last one I want to go over is the companion skills. Now, the companion skills will our companions be able to level up their perks? Will their perks stack with others? Will says all crews start with a set of skills in specific ranks. So you might meet a character that specifically good at rifles. And if you hire them to watch your back, or you might meet them as an astrodynamics expert that will increase your grave jump range when assigned to your ship. Emil says, they don't level up, but they come in different ranks depending on the companions. We call them skills in Starfield, and they do stack with yours. Now, how they are flavored or the highlights of the companion's background and interests, but you also really feel like the benefits of the ship and the combat-related ones. Now, getting a boost to your shields or seeing a companion laying down fire with the weapon, very proficient in them, are very pretty sweet moments. Now, the companion skills, I don't know if I like those or not. I mean, I'll have to see when we start playing the game, but I kind of want to level up. Like, the more you bring someone out, they could maybe more skill points, but I totally get it. It'll be interesting to see which ones are better than others and who you bring along with you. So, obviously, if you have that one character that you like, but if you did have the skills, then you would, make that one, the one-all, be-all type of thing. And I like how they have these set skills. So if you want better shields, or if you want them to watch your back, or if they're better at something to make your ship better, or your shields better, like I said, I think that's a good way to go. Obviously, we have to get our hands on it to feel how this is going to be, but it sounds really promising. Sounds like something I could get used to. Now, let me know what you guys think. Out of these questions, what kind of other questions would you like? You're only 2 weeks away from playing Starfield. Let me know in the comment section down below what's your favorite. What was your favorite answer from these questions, and what type of character you're going to create in the next 2 weeks. Like right now, you're brainstorming. What are you going to make? Please make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Help us out to get that over 2,000 subscribers. And if you'd like to go above and beyond that, you become a member as little as $5. We do multiple streams throughout the week. I appreciate you very much. If you're here for the live streams or the Let's Plays or our podcasts or these videos, I do appreciate you very much. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.